Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Erasmus Expeditions. We are here tonight with session 4 of The Curse of Vladeska Drakov. I am not running the game. That is going to be for our beautiful Game Master Baron up there, who I want to pass it to in just a moment. But I'm going to give the same warning that I give on the beginning of all of my games, and that is if foul language and mature subject matter are a problem for you, then don't watch this either. Even though I'm not running the game, it's still going to happen. I guarantee it. So, I think that's everything that we need to cover. So, Baron, she's all yours.
Thank you. As always, thank you, Jeremy, for allowing me the privilege to get to put some of my art for the world to see on a platform that I feel passionate about sharing with. It's always a absolute pleasure to work with you as well as my fellow players here to put together these projects and, I don't know, have a little fun while we do it, if that's what you can call it. This is session 4 of Curse of Vladeska Drakov. If you are joining us now, I really hope there are 3 previous sessions that you are up to speed on, because I'm not going back. Without, I guess realistically, I didn't ask this before we started, but if you guys have any questions about anything before we get started. Well, as we all experience, time moves one way, and for those within Falkovnia, the full moon approaches. We will not be going to the 4th week as we left last time on kind of a cliffhanger, having reunited with a individual that had been under pursuit for some time, Dr. Johann Schwarz, distraught and about to inject himself with some sort of mysterious serum that had been seen before. The party was able to intervene and prevent this transformation. From this, he also indicated that Lady Dusk, also known as Esther Brandt, had escaped through some tunnels, leaving the palace proper. Before we get to that, from journals recovered, Esther Brandt, agent of the Iron Hood. The rain had been falling for 3 days. Roads quickened into mud pits, and most of the equipment soaked through. It takes time to march to more frenzy. Queen Fura doesn't realize that this far from her perch, the land bubbles with discontent and rebellion. The tithe lands might firmly under her grasp, but further east, those resources are much thinner, almost now non-existent. But bandits aren't much of a threat when they haven't eaten in weeks. And as we approached Morfenzi, all this way from the safety of the walls, I wondered if Horseman was sent here, or if he had chosen to go. We were brought inside a fortification. Whatever defensive installments were put in place were simply outnumbered by odd machines, roughly 3 to 1. The drone of a constant electrical buzzing and pops of static could always be heard. We were 3 days from the full moon, but the people here were calm, unfazed by the walking disaster less than 100 hours away. I asked our escort, but he said the R&D facility is perfectly safe and I should mind my orders. Horseman, when I seen him, was a withered old man. Thin hair on a blotchy scalp were all that decorated a massive head on a malnourished body. He sat crippled in some sort of wheelchair, and he revealed to me what I believed to be the truth. Not far from here, in a place known as the Valley of the Queen, a discovery was made. The remnants of a binding contract burnt into stone and rock. It took time to translate, but the message became clear. In exchange for country and dominion, and the death of her enemies, Vladeska Drakov hath sworn away her soul. The undead harbingers were not aggressors, but collectors for a debt long overdue. How selfishly she had used the people she claims to protect as fodder and shield against her own doom. Leaves one to think, what would happen should they acquire their bounty? Might all this simply cease to be? I required him to prove it. On the night of the full moon, the electrical noises were brought to us. The electrical noises ceased to hum. The fog rolled in, and the hordes surged the fields in untold number. A wave of undeath, as far as the eye could see, trampled everything in front of them. But with proper battlements, those within the facility would in fact be safe. They paid no attention to the stone walls. And despite the fact that there were living within, they paid us no mind. Their objective far from here. Horseman and I spoke quietly atop the battlements. A scientist by the name of Dr. Johann Schwartz had fled with some very important notes. He requested that my organization and those I associate with try to persuade Dr. Schwartz into recreating this formula and utilizing its creation to aid these collectors. Perhaps we may yet be free from materials recovered. And as with the start of all these games, we find ourselves at the night of the previous full moon. We've seen quite a few events take place this evening, but there's one of us that has remained mysterious in the actions that he may have participated in while the gate was breached. Rhino, if anyone has a good idea of what you were doing that night, it's probably you. We know the southeastern gate was breached, presumably by Dr. Johann Schwartz, acting under the instruction of Lady Dusk. You know that you know now, you didn't then, that he was being blackmailed with the safety of his family to operate under her whim. I think that where we find you is after this breach has taken place. Where are you? What are you doing?
You say after the breach. Are we talking after it's closed up, or
I'm going to
it's
say
been...
that night it's been breached. The undead are coming in and people are screaming and people are dying.
Oh, Rhinel's in the middle of this. He's, in fact, at this very moment, probably standing, taking a breather. Gore and just this viscous substance that comes from each of the undead kills just dripping off of his blade as he's catching his breath for a moment. Back against a wall, just preparing to come around the corner on another onslaught. He's not necessarily trying to save anyone nearby. He's more of trying to keep what he can from getting farther into the city through this breach.
And for someone who has given their life over to death, it is less of a battle of strength and more of a battle of endurance. How long you can withstand these surges. There is a small subdivision just around where the gate is, and this is where a lot of the casualties would have taken place. And it's as one man stands the tide, you can see from your periphery there are those that were able to get past, and as you kind of took retreating measures, you were able to step off to the side and kind of let some of the talons take the brunt of this. Roll a perception check.
$18.
It's dark. It is hard to see into the shadows that are kind of juxtaposed next to the flickering light of what torches are used in the defense of the city. But through the din and groan and moans of the cacophonous dead, you hear something inhuman, bestial, loud, like the cry of a man's death mixed with a striking falcon. You hear the shredding of metal. And as kind of anomalous as it is when it hits you, it is gone. But you hear something you cannot identify. Whatever that was, it's in the city.
I think that I think Rhino turns to head deeper into the city, the direction that this sounds like it may have come from, and then gets like maybe 2 or 3 running strides that direction, and then realizes that he could sprint in and maybe save people from whatever this thing is. A few, but will this cause more of the horde to get through this breach, even with the Talons here, even with anyone else that showed up to try to stop this? And I think he turns back to check that status, the status of the breach, before he does anything else.
So I don't think you're close enough to see the breach itself. It's kind of like picture like a very German-esque, like what is the word? Not Barovian.
Broke?
No, not broke.
Bavarian?
Bavarian.
I was
Thank
gonna
you.
say.
I knew it was a B word. A very Bavarian style neighborhood, like these like timbers with white plaster, and like the roads aren't straight, so they kind of curve. And I would say that you're like in this subdivision a quarter mile up the road, but there's enough houses and meandering in the road that you can't directly see it. I will say that the Talons appear to have some sort of defensive perimeter, kind of holding these choke points at bay, that you would be free to operate under your own volition still. Like you're not held here, you're not the choke point itself. But perhaps whichever decision you make has ultimately participated in the dozen people that died this evening, as you weren't there.
I think that if it seems at all likely that his missing presence isn't going to affect too much, then he would head towards whatever that sound was. If there's enough Talons holding some of these choke points, then he feels safe enough to venture farther in and see if he can be of assistance elsewhere.
You make your way down this alley that kind of separates two city townhomes. Kind of circle back around, perhaps going the long way towards the church that we've seen in a previous episode, kind of like along one of the back walls to get around one of like the main roads. A lot of these can get sectioned off relatively easily and without too much overflow coming from other than the eastern gate. It's not like these roads have filled in. Whatever zombies you see, you're able to cut down. What I'll do is I'll let you describe how you perhaps cut down a group of them or one of them, and then I'll tell you what you see, and then we'll go to where we were.
It's not pretty. Rhino carries a huge sword, He has a tendency to, I guess, in a way, kind of like Yorgu, end up bigger than what he was originally as he gets going and gets in this, not really a battle rage, but this just kind of battle mindset. And I think after cutting into one or two of these undead, he kind of the camera's kind of following him behind as he rushes in, and he's just cleaving, as mostly aiming for heads, as hopefully that will stop it from coming back again. But then as one of them falls and kind of blocks your view of him, it falls kind of off behind him. This more imposing figure kind of rises up as he steps to the next one, and he's just a little bit bigger than he was a second ago. And now he's just cleaving these things in half as he's running through. Some of them he's not even taking out in this group. He's just shouldering to the side and throwing against the nearest wall.
You breach what seems to be a small cluster, and you find yourself in kind of like an open courtyard space between like 6 to half dozen houses. An individual runs from one alley to the next. You recognize this individual as Dr. Johann Schwartz, fleeing quickly on foot. But not far away, you hear that same bestial shriek. And climbing the wall, its claws digging into the stone, 2 bipedal feathered creatures. Silhouettes of such that hop the wall and flee into the darkness beyond Lekar. We find ourselves in Silverfoss, where we have just stopped Johann Schwartz from injecting himself with this mysterious serum. There was some pretty intense questioning moments before, but he has indicated that in the tunnels not far, or in the tunnel that escapes the palace not far from where you all stand, Lady Dusk has escaped. She can't have gotten far if you choose to pursue her. What do we find ourselves thinking, seeing, experiencing?
I think Yorgu kind of looks at the doctor, still kind of like kneeling here in the dirt and the dust, and he's going to kind of take the doctor by the shoulders and try as best he can to like get him to look him in the eyes, and he tells him, "We will do everything that we can to make sure that your family is safe. You cannot do this to yourself. Please, promise me."
He is just snot and tears. I promise. I will not turn myself into a monster.
Thank you, Johann. I cannot bear to see something like this happen to you. After all I have done to try to struggle against such the transformations. It's not what you want, I promise. I will make sure that they are safe. It's repayment for the favor that you have done for me. But please, don't do this.
You owe me no favors, Yogu. I have done great evil.
But too, you have also done great kindness. You saved me.
How many How many lives must I save to atone for those I've killed?
Does not matter. You do good. That's what matters. It's not that you only do good, but if you do good, it's okay. Because there are some who don't do good, ever.
Moraza was right. I was willing to sacrifice the innocent people of Leka for my own family.
Because you love them.
It's not worth an entire city, but you should come with us, Johann. Help us stop this madness once and for all. And I think Miraza kind of fades back into view as her invisibility ends, and I think we see her tucking two of these emerald adorned rings onto her middle fingers. You see roiling shadow inside. We need to stop wasting time. Who has the syringe? Keep it away from him, and let's go.
Yorgu
Who does have the syringe? I don't know who has the syringe.
I think Poe was the one who took it from Johann, but I don't know. I hope you guys can't hear that. I really hope you guys can't hear that.
Hear what?
Okay.
It's lost somehow.
Some guy's car's going off. This dude with a loud ass truck was just sitting here for like 45 minutes. So
I know you're like you just cracked one off or something. Just farted really loud on camera. I was like, oh, all right, Baron.
I would prefer that.
I would prefer that.
Yorgu will stand ready to follow the rest of them and be of service as best he can, but his gaze for the time being is still definitely lingering on Johann Schwarz.
Johann is standing. He's dusting himself off. I will show you the way to the tunnels that lead away from the palace. And he moves further into the palace complex. We see a similar tunnel to one that was outside the city in a flashback from episode 2. Similar construction, not the same tunnel. Clearly escape tunnels to get away from palaces or out of the city or what have you were made multiple times, as if the people that lived in these places before the fog cut everything off were constantly in fear for their life, at least the royalty. You enter and pursue, question mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
good, Jeremy.
I was just going to say, Yorgu is definitely kind of like moving just in front of the doctor, like wherever the doctor positions himself as far as like the rank and file goes. He's right in front of him, almost like with a hand out to like make sure that he stays right behind him.
I was gonna say Penelope is with the doctor, like she's standing at his side.
He's got commoner stat block, so he's moving a solid 60 feet every round.
Would this journey count as a short rest, Baron? Would you?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's kind of like in pursuit. Yes. This tunnel is maybe like an 1/8 mile, and you are outside the walls of Silver Pass, and it's not just bare woods like you'd expect. You actually come out in like the wood cutting shed of like a small manor that exists just outside city proper. You can see that there is a lot of tangled overgrowth on what would have probably been like a small villa complex. And there is a lot of rubble as it has not been cared for in a long time. And so ceilings have caved in, large sections of wall have fallen in, the plaster has rotted away, the timbers have rotted away in some places. But for the most part, you can make out the structure of kind of like a manse style house.
What time of day is it?
I'm going to say that it is early evening, near twilight. The sun has probably breached the tops of the trees that surround Silver Pass, so like it's still bright in the sky, but it's getting dark for you. guys.
I think Poe is toward the back of the group, and he's going to slide into the shadows as we proceed
Roll
toward the
stealth.
entrance. Uh, 15.
You feel like if you blend in with the shadows well as you ever have.
Okay.
You guys are probably like 150 feet from the main entrance of this manse. You are probably what would be considered the southwest corner, looking north at this manse. And so the sun is setting to your left.
That sounds right.
Yes, that's right. That's all right.
Kind of.
Which is kind of like the
Go
light
ahead.
is hitting the side of the building that you guys are on, and then it kind of gets dark as you get further away from this woodshed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you can see the door, but like part of the door or door frame kind of like creates a shadow on the closest of those doors, the westernmost door. To the north of you, you see like looks like a remnants of like a greenhouse area. There's broken panes of glass and like an old framework that looks incredibly rusted. There are windows along this side of the wall. You can tell that there's like a large porch that's in front. So like you can see the main doors and like in alcoves that kind of like if you were looking at the front of the building, like the corners kind of sit out, and then there's like a indent on either side, and then it buffs out to the main doors again. You can see that this porch kind of like goes into those alcoves, and you see like old concrete seats that would have probably had cushions. There's also like two small dry fountains. And then from there, you can't really see the shadowed area further away. Johann is running for the front door.
Does he have a weapon on him at all?
Nothing. He has fucking nothing.
Lord. Yeah, I think Miraza seeing that will just kind of curse under her breath, and then she will kind of jog up to him, kind of grab his arm and slap like this iron stiletto dagger into his hand, one of the two that she has, and then she'll just say, "You can lead us from the front. Don't rush in." And then I think she's actually going to keep a hold of his arm. She's going to kind of use, it's probably a little awkward for him. She's going to use his body as cover, and she's going to point a finger on her free hand towards Penelope. And I think, Penelope, you feel this like shiver of cold kind of run up and down your spine, which might be a little odd for you being plague woken. And you hear Miraza's voice in your skull. You and only you hear her whispering, "Remember what I told you before. I am fairly certain that Whisper is working with the person we are pursuing. If he gets in your way, if he gets in our way, or prevents us from trying to save Johann's family, we will have to do something about him." And then she'll let Johann go. I think she'll keep pace with him though. If he's like running ahead, she'll try to keep pace with him so he doesn't blunder into whatever traps Esther might have laid for us.
Yeah, at that, like, there's no stop. She's running to keep up with the good doctor, but there's the slightest glance at Miraza, and to most it would just be like her head moving because she's running, but she gives Miraza a nod.
And actually, you can respond verbally if you want to. It's a whisper that only Miraza can hear. I forgot about that, but you don't have to, obviously.
She's not gonna. She's just
Smart.
gonna nod.
Smart. Yeah. Guess we
Miraza,
head to the
Dr.
door.
Johann is like physically trembling in your hands when you grab his arm. Like this man is nerves and anxiety and now adrenaline.
Cool. Give me 1 second. Gotta roll a little something real quick. If D&D Beyond will
Eldritch
cooperate.
Blast.
Cool. It's not Eldritch Blast.
Just kill him.
She smacks him across the face.
Right,
If
roll to
he
attack.
is if he is wigging out like that, oh my god. D&D Beyond sound effects. Sorry, it took me a little by surprise. It's not great. Ooh, that's terrible. That might not be bad for a common or stat block. That's an 11.
11 is above his AC.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, she just cracks him across the face, grabs him by the shoulders, and says, "Calm down. We are here with you. You cannot blunder into this. Wait for the others." And I think she'll actually hold him in place until Rheinald and Penelope and Yorgu join before we just go charging through the front door. She doesn't know where Whisper is. To be honest, I think she's not even looking for where Whisper is at this point. She's having some very interesting thoughts concerning that particular individual. But yeah, she will force him to wait for the others.
He does. He seems to have calmed down a little bit. This isn't a man of fortitude. You smacked what was flesh that seemed to be holding itself together on a dream, and so he is like visibly injured from the smack.
Fair. I think she actually looks a little disappointed. She thought that this kind man, was stronger than this, especially based on what Yorgu has said about him saving Yorgu at Morbenzi. Like she was, I think, deeply shocked and disappointed by the fact that he was willing to potentially sacrifice Lakar for his family. So she's even more disappointed now, but she doesn't say anything.
Your strike, like you can feel the skin move on his face as you hit him. The rest of you are able to catch up, and you move towards the front door. He looks back to you guys, fully prepared to just open the door.
Let me send Carrion to scout to see if there are any open windows or if there's anything waiting for us on the other side of this door. She'll kind of like, probably not too gently, kind of shove Johann towards Yorgu, and then her one good eye will roll up into her head, and she will have her undead crow familiar just do a circuit, if he can, Baron, of the manse, and see if there's any broken windows. Can he see into the windows? Anything at all that might indicate where Esther and Johann's wife and son and daughter are.
There are definitely broken windows. There are
Okay.
definitely compromised walls. There are definitely holes in the ceiling and roof. It seems like most of the places where there is something broken, I would say there's a few light sources, like loosely lit, but they would be like within inner portions of the house. Carrion would get brief glances. Most of the exposed portions are on the second floor, and it's dark up there. There are a few broken windows on the first floor, but it doesn't seem like there are any people. There must be either interior rooms that you cannot see, or they are perhaps in a basement.
Yeah, she'll relay that to the others. Her purple eye kind of rolls back into its normal position in her skull. I don't see any sign of them. Did Carrion see anything on the other side of the front door? Like, was there a vantage point where he could see into the manse?
Because it's like you can tell from the architecture of the house that there must be two stairways on either side, or stairways in the further back of this kind of entry chamber, because it seems to be like an atrium style. You know, like this ceiling of this central chamber is like 20 feet tall, and just like a straight room back.
Okay, then she'll relay that to the others and look to Johann to see if he has any inkling of where they might have gone. Maybe to, like you said, a basement of some kind. But she'll look to him.
I have only been outside here. I've never gone in.
Can we not just call to her?
I don't. If she has his family hostage, Yorgu, I don't think she's going to come to us. We are going to have to go to her. She will have prepared something, I'm sure.
Well, then I will go in the front, and whatever she has ready can happen to me, and the rest of you come at her from this side or behind.
I will be behind you.
Did we check and see if there's a cellar door?
From the circuit that Carrion did, there is not.
Okay.
This must be one of them fancy homes with interior cellar steps.
These are some fancy Falkovnias.
Fancy. Damn.
Damn.
Yorgu's gonna like put a hand on the doctor's chest, which is, you know, basically covers from like his clavicle to his navel almost, and just kind of like gently kind of pushes him a couple of steps back. It is probably better that you stay outside. I will tell you when it's okay to come in, yes?
My family's in there. I have to come with you.
Well, then you need to stay behind me, okay?
Okay.
Rhino, you should watch him. If Yorgu's taking the point.
Rhino was gonna offer to go in with Yorgu, but if he needs to watch the doctor,
We're all,
do that
we're all
instead.
going in, I assume. Yeah,
Yeah, I just kind of meant like simultaneously with Yorgu in case he.
fair.
Something,
I will
but
watch him.
I'll do whatever.
I have no problem watching him.
Yorgu will reach up to his back and he'll pull off this meat cleaver of a great axe that he carries, and kind of just like hold it down by his side, and he's gonna try the door. He's just gonna try the handle.
It unlatches.
Then he
Despite
kind of
the
takes a
age,
step.
The hinges are still in good condition. It opens quietly.
He takes a step back and looks to the others, and then he nods and he turns around and just reaches up his left foot and just heals this door right next to the door handle.
It slams open. The force of impact from your kick actually kicks the other door unlatched, and it kind of swings less forceful, but still kind of taps into the wall. You guys can see this large entry hall with like a large fireplace in the center. Cold, long cold. There are windows on the far side, but they are still largely intact. On either side of you is like a balcony, but there are no steps in this entry hall. So the steps on either side must be on either side.
Yorgu will take, 4 large strides into this open space with the cleaver kind of held down by his leg, and just kind of look up towards this balcony. Hello?
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Rhino, do
Is
I
it
need to
something
roll
I
too?
can-
Because I think Rhino is kind of right there, if not beside him, like pretty close behind him.
Given that Yorgu is kind of holding the steering wheel here, we're just gonna let Yorgu roll this.
Perfectly fine.
All right.
And
Is it something that I
if
can
it
see
affects-
coming? Does danger sense apply here?
What does danger sense as written read?
As a
again?
barbarian, let me get it pulled up.
I think you're right,
I'm a-
Jeremy. I think it's you have to. Let's see.
You have
have to be able to
advantage on
see it.
dexterity
Yeah.
saving throws unless you have the incapacitated condition. Oh, maybe they changed that for 2024.
So then,
Oh, I
yes,
like
you would
So,
have
okay.
advantage.
Nice.
Interesting. That's an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so advantage is it's not terrible. It's a 10.
You're looking for 14.
Oh,
Hmm.
buddy.
You feel it after you place your foot. There is a tension on your pant leg that breaks a fraction of a second.
He turns
It took
halfway
what-
around, get out, and then whatever happens, happens.
Two things happen. You are hit with like a cross barrage of sharp metal needles. You are going to take 16 points of piercing damage. The rest of you, slightly back, are brought upon by a voice, some sort of reaction to this tripwire. Welcome, sister. I have waited for you, and I will continue to wait, it would seem. What you are all here for is not where I am. They are in the basement underneath the kitchen, whereas I am in the study. Your choice will determine essentially who lives and who dies. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, Iorgu like recoils to all of these like spikes that are sticking out of him now. Kind of reaches up and starts pulling these things out like one at a time from his forearm and like his shoulder and his back, down by his hip, and just kind of winces every time he has to pull one of these things out, but doesn't say anything. Where do we go? To the basement?
This has to stop. This dancing around. She has to be stopped. It does not seem wise to split up, but I cannot think of another solution.
What does she want with you?
What do you think? She's an Iron Hood. I'm formerly a Talon. It's not difficult to comprehend. Obviously, she'll look to Johan. I imagine she, when Whisper's like, hey, I'll watch him, Ross just immediately like shifted over to stand by him. I imagine you will want to go down to the basement, but as we saw in Lakar, she is slippery. And as much as it pains me to say it, I cannot capture her alone. Or kill her alone, probably. He's going to look at you, Penelope, actually, she says that, considering what happened to Trevor.
I don't suppose, being her sister, you would know what may get her emotions up and cause her to come to us.
Maraza looks at you, Rheinald, this one eye, this one charred, empty eye socket with this little mote of yellowish-green flame in it, and she says, the last time that I saw my sister in Silvervoss, I had not seen her for over 20 years. I have spent more time with the Talons than I have spent with my own family. I do not know what kind of person she is now, except that she is an Iron Hood, and she almost destroyed Lakar by putting this man into an impossible situation.
What do you think her motivation is?
I don't
Why?
know. This isn't the time
Maybe
to
that's
discuss motivations. We need to
maybe
figure out
that's
how
the
we are
key
going
to
to
the
split up.
mystery.
Hmm.
Maybe we should know the why.
Isabella, I'm just gonna look at you again, Penelope. Are you coming with me?
I think for the briefest moment, she's a little shocked that you called her Isabella.
Thanks,
And
Iorgu.
she looks at you and then looks at Poe. I say we go after her. But I do have a question for you, my friend. And she starts walking, and she kind of motions for Poe to follow her.
I do.
Maraza will just trail behind. She'll give the two some space, though. She'll look to Rheinald and Iorgu and kind of like nod, like maybe start looking for the basement, essentially.
You'd be able to have told, like, understood from the layout that, like, that garden outside greenhouse would have been on wherever they make food, as like chimneys would have been out there. So seems like the kitchen's on the western side, and that would make you believe the study's on the eastern side.
Western side for basement, eastern side for study? Or did I get those mixed
Correct.
up? Okay,
No,
Mhm.
got
understood.
it.
Miss Penelope, I was wanting to talk to you in private anyway.
Perfect.
And he turns around to see if Maraza is actually listening or here.
I mean, she's like 10 feet behind. Like she's not being, subtle about it at all. Rapier's out.
That would
Of
mean
course. So he looks at Penelope and he goes, "Obviously, I'm a gentleman, so ladies first."
Why so concerned about motive?
Well, I'm wondering where Miss Maraza's allegiances lie.
I'm starting to wonder where yours lie, my dear.
Well, let me explain then. Now, Maraza has not allowed his sister to get away once, but twice. Have you seen Maraza fail in battle yet? Have you seen any of his spells not go off as intended? But when he was facing his sister, he talked to her, and nothing happened, and she escaped. Again. And I also saw her, excuse me. I also saw her attack a Talon in the sewer, and use his magic to pull its soul or whatever his kind do. So, and now here we are. He needs our help to capture his sister, and here we are, far, far away from the city. Coincidence? So, I know who I serve. I know that it would look negatively upon me if I was to kill a Talon, as it would you. So why is it that he feels that he can do it, she can do it, and let his sister get away twice, and again, here we are. And he's intentionally making sure that he's telling you this, because he's heard rumors as well about where your allegiances lie. Rumors, of course. So he's ensuring that he's telling you this. So that is my question to you. You chose me, and I have served you. And now I am telling you information that you did not know. So, why exactly are we here? In the traitor's lair, who happens to be his family member. I think you should pay attention to what he's doing and saying.
Oh, I do. I pay attention to what everyone says and does.
And he bows his head to you, as you are wise. And again, I thank you for selecting me to accompany you.
I have a question for Baron.
Yeah.
Can she reach out to Vladreska and ask if Poe is truly necessary to keep alive?
Damn! I just told you secrets. Jesus!
You're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
I don't think it's kind of like it's not like an email, It's not
No.
like you could put that out there and do what you want and hope for the best.
Yeah,
Accidents happen all the time.
I think she's gonna put that out there, just out into the ether. And she pauses and she puts a hand out and she kind of stops Poe. Just as you know many rumors, I know a few of my own, some of them yours.
I'm an open book. Anything you want, all you have to do is ask.
A boy?
Yes. And he's missing.
Oh,
Because it's my family.
that's what you call it.
Yes.
You mean the one that you pull from the wagon, right?
I attempted to.
Oh,
I
that's
have
what
no
we'll
shame
call
in
it.
that.
We'll call
I
it
have
an
no
attempt.
shame in that.
You should.
No, if I need to be
Because
judged.
he is not like us.
Not yet.
Never.
That was my hope. You showed your grace on me.
I'm
Why not
starting to
him?
wonder if I shouldn't have.
I see. My apologies if I have offended thee.
You have.
But
And
like I said, my information is accurate about
should I be back
Maraza.
with the Montiliers?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Should I have been back with the Montiliers, you would have been butchered like a fish for this.
Perhaps there's a reason I wasn't. Perhaps you're not
Perhaps it
my...
should be done sooner rather than later.
I
Since you hear rumors of me. And
I-
you watch as one of her eyes turns that crimson red color and matches our lovely Dreadlord.
That's fine. That is perfectly fine with me. Tell
I
her.
don't think it is.
Tell
But
her.
that's okay. I plan
I
on
will tell
finding
her
out who your
myself.
true master is.
I think you're making a mistake.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't
that
think I am.
I think that we share a master. But, you do what you think is right.
Always.
You guys are moving down a hallway
Mm-hmm.
that opens up into like a sitting room. In the sitting room, you can see a staircase along the far side. The banister is fucking gone or collapsed. Some of the stairs are pitted. There are like sedan chairs that have been like ripped apart or decayed over time. Evidently, maybe some animals were in here at some point and kind of like pulled stuffing out from these cushions or what have you. You can see that underneath the stairs, there's a room or the entrance to a room. That would be the furthest room on the eastern side. Maraza, you didn't see any like major windows for this room. To the left seems to be an entrance to a larger entertainment room. There's some tables. There seems to be like a billiards table of some sort in there as well. Before we go any further, is there anything else that would like to be said before we go back to the other folks?
I just had a quick question. So, big room with sedan chairs, further room in, billiards room, that kind of thing. Is there like a desk or anything anywhere, like something you would see in the study, or can we not see that from where we are?
Well, there
right
is
now?
an additional room whose entrance is under the stairs
Yeah.
Okay,
that
okay,
you would not have been able to see inside.
okay. Um, I don't think Raza says anything, but I think she looks at you, Poe, and she kind of gives you a little smile, and she starts to walk towards the door under the stairs. I think she just starts humming some kind of like Hallen's marching song under her breath. Yeah, that'll be it for me.
We go
He
back.
smiles and winks at you. Ah,
We go back across the house. You enter into a large dining area. There is a table that easily sits like 22, 24 people. There is like an area where they would have like held not catered food, but like prepared food, and then like servants would bring it over to the table. Beyond that, there seems to be what would be a kitchen. There's like a swing door that is off its hinge at the top, so it kind of just lays in the doorway. But there is no staircase in this room or cellar entrance. Johan, I think after seeing you get hit with needles, you know what, actually, Jeremy, roll a d6. Odds,
Okay.
he doesn't run in. Evens, he does.
Oh god, okay. That's a 4.
My man bolts across this room
Doctor,
in an
no!
attempt to find his family. Reinald, do you do anything?
I would attempt to grab him and stop him.
I kill him. We'll do a dexterity saving throw. DC 12.
14.
All right. So you grab the doctor's jacket. It seems tear, but you stop him from running forward. Let go. My family. You heard what she said. They're dying.
We are going. We will get to them, I promise.
Not fast enough.
I will
He's
move
like trying
quicker.
to wrench free.
Yorgu, without thinking twice, is gonna just move towards the actual kitchen proper, like towards the door that's on its, rotten hinge.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that's one of my really good ones, Baron. Yeah. That's a 5. You know what? I appear to have a point of inspiration on my sheet, so I'm gonna spend it, and I'm gonna reroll that. There we go. 18.
You do remember to check for traps this time.
Yep.
You push open the door, and as you do, you can hear the tripwire breaking. And on the far side, you see like would be like a makeshift pendulum of some kind, and it's filled with kitchen knives, and it slams into the tile wall on the adjacent side of the door. And I like stick into the tile like grout. But you prevent the trap from hurting you.
He kind of stops for a moment and breathes. Sorry, Nathan, go ahead.
Reinald's seeing this, kind of standing there, holding the doctor, seeing what's nearly happened to Yorgu, looks dead in the doctor's eyes and just kind of points over there. That would have been you had I let you run off. If you rush in again, I will be forced to knock you unconscious.
I will kill you myself. He kind of looks dejectedly down at the ground. And you enter the kitchen.
Yeah, Yorgu will kind of like reach a hand up and just like take what's left of that door and basically just rip it out of its door jamb and just toss it to the side to make sure that it's not even an object anymore. It's not even an obstruction at all. And just from the doorway, again, his cleaver kind of held down at his side, he's gonna take a peek in and see if he can't get a good look of this kitchen, particularly if he can't find some kind of trapdoor or staircase or something like that.
You guys enter the kitchen, and it is it would have been very opulent in its day. Very open. You can see on the far side, there's like bread ovens and like open coal stoves, all made of brick. There's like a large chimney that would funnel all this heat out. There's also, like, you see the entrance to the greenhouse. The door has been barred shut and, like, nailed shut. You see that it kind of, like, wraps around to where, like, a food prep area would be, like, for, like, meats and whatnot. And there on the floor is a large black span that you can see the tops of 2 steps. Everyone roll perception. Well, actually, I mean, it's one of those things. Am I gonna, like, keep this hidden behind the barrier? You do hear some sort of, like, gnashing or noise, like a rumbling growl, maybe.
Okay. I think, he kind of takes one last look at this most recent trap, and he says, "Okay, we go quickly." And he turns, and he's gonna make his way towards the 2 steps that he can kind of see. I think he's gonna try to grab something as they come through the kitchen, like a large piece of, like, cookery, like a frying pan or a pot of some kind. And just with his offhand, he's just going to kind of, like, scoop that up as they move through the kitchen towards the stairs.
I think where you're located, it would probably be like a cutting board, like a large wooden cutting board.
Perfect.
And you said you moved towards the stairs?
Yes.
So within the manor, on the eastern side, we have Moraza, Poe, and Penelope working their way towards a unopened door. Across. On the western side, we have Reinal, Yorgu, and Dr. Johann Schwartz preparing to enter the basement where his family is. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Everyone?
Everybody.
Okay.
Do you want us to post what we get in chat, Baron, or say it out loud? Or do you not care?
Put it in chat because I gotta do a couple of my own.
Oh, initiative. God dang it.
Is the doctor rolling, Baron? Or are you going to roll for the doctor?
You can roll for the doctor, please.
I'm assuming he doesn't add anything because he's a commoner.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I believe that's everybody.
Damn. Penelope, Maraza.
Nothing like a split party in combat, eh?
Well, it makes me easier to kill you.
I mean, that's a fair point. Damn it! You're so mean, Baron.
Don't worry, the turns will go faster in a little bit.
That's true. We're gonna lose some of those numbers. Some of those numbers are gonna go away.
Don't worry.
We've been pushing him to do more sessions, so he's just decided to.
I literally
TPK us.
said,
It ends
where
here.
you guys go determines who lives. One of those options was y'all.
Oh no! Oh, actually, I apologize, Baron. Carrion got an 18, so Carrion is after Maraza. I think familiars roll separately.
Oh, fuck. I'm
Sorry.
working in pen here.
Sorry.
You need to buy erasable pens. They are literally the best.
Hate that.
Use that goddamn pencil.
Listen, they come
I
in all
also-
sorts of colors.
I got an erasable pen right here.
Here's my erasable pen.
I just have to sharpen it every now and then.
I don't
I
have
re-
to do that.
I realized in my rewatch of last session that I started off saying that Johann Schwartz had a daughter and a wife, and then in the second part I said he had a daughter, wife, and son.
You said daughter, wife, and son before as well. You did. There was
Did I?
one moment where you said, I think you said his daughter and wife had been kidnapped when Vladeska was talking to Penelope
Yeah.
and Yorgu and Reinal. But before
Right.
that, you did say wife, son, and
Okay.
daughter.
Well,
So
he does have a son as well.
you good?
And
Schrodinger's
a
son.
small dog.
A small
And a small dog.
Small.
New session. He has a dog now,
Named Vladeska Barkov.
and she beats it.
How could this man be a traitor? We'll take 10. We'll do that now, so we don't have to
Take a break.
start and then stop. Yeah, we'll take a break real quick.
Okay.
I gotta give my cat his meds anyway, so we'll take 10, and we'll get
Okay.
back into it.
Word.
Jeremy.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trauma. Baron, it's all yours.
Thanks. It is all mine, actually, and I'm sharing it. We are in a manse on the outskirts of Silver Pass in pursuit of Lady Dusk as well as the missing family of Johann Schwartz. Half the party has gone east to the side of the building where Esther is supposed to be. The rest have gone in pursuit of the basement where the prisoners should be kept. The start of the round, Penelope, you are watching Maraza walk up to the door.
I'm right behind her.
What would you like to do? You can open it. You can ready an action.
I am going to summon my packed weapon. And then I will, let me see here. Yeah. So that's her bonus action. And then, because instead of her rapier that she usually uses, she is going to summon a we're gonna do, can I use simple weapons? We're going to do a short sword just for the funsies. And then she is going to ready and excuse me, an Eldritch Blast. Like she's just gonna be ready to just throw that.
At the first person you see?
Yes.
Okay. The next up would be someone downstairs. The three of you at the top of the stairs would hear something is like actively working on trying to pull metal. You hear the cries and whimpers of people, plural, more than 2 or 3 people. There's quite a few people down here. They seem to be crying out for help as something is pulling hard against a restraint of some kind. The next person is Maraza.
So, quick question: the voices downstairs, they're where we are, where
No.
Maraza. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. Okay. So Maraza is going to look at Penelope, kind of give her a nod, and then she's going to take her right hand and she smashes the emerald on her ring that is on the middle finger of her right hand. And we see another one of these horrible, multi-headed, multi-limbed shadow monsters. And she is going to have it be Fury. So I think there's no whispers. The last one that she summoned against the lantern was like whispering these like despairing remarks. This one is almost like snarling like an animal. I think it's a little odd. All of the heads, although they seem to be different heads, the snarling sounds the same. It sounds like a child, almost like a young, maybe a young girl or a young boy, just like snarling in just animalistic rage. So she will have that summoned. That is an action. Bonus action, she will enact the Dance Macabre. Her fiery eye starts belching flame, while her other eye fills with black liquid and spreads to the veins around her eye. So that's action. Bonus action, she has her rapier drawn. Everything slows down for a few moments. I think she's gonna just hold it there, and she's actually going to have the shadow spawn open the door. So it goes right after her in initiative, so it will kind of like lumber forward and just kind of try to push open the door or pull open the door.
It is able to. The door swings in.
Okay. Then it will advance. I'm assuming, is it what do you see beyond the door? Stairs or what?
Within seems to be bookshelves, from what you can see as the door opens, and kind of whatever light is filtering in. And as the door opens, it seems as if on cue the lanterns also ignite. But in this ignition, I need the shadow to roll a dex saving throw.
I will do this through D&D Beyond if it'll
You
let
know what?
me.
Actually, we're gonna do it. Penelope and Maraza, you also need to roll this dexterity saving throw because you are right by the door.
The shadow got a 6.
I got a 9.
Maraza got a 5. I'm going to burn my heroic inspiration for
I
being
think that's what
human.
I'm
Yeah,
going to do
just
as
to be
well.
safe. That's better-ish. So that's a 13. So 6 for the shadow, 13 for Maraza Baron.
I still got a 9.
Ooh.
I call shenanigans.
I tell a story. So Penelope and the shadow are going to take 10 points of fire damage. Maraza, you take 5. As the tripwire and the lanterns ignite, and there must have been gas or something, magic or otherwise, and it explodes out into the sitting room from the doorway.
Dope. You said so the total was 10 and then halved was 5, is that correct?
5. Correct.
I really wish they had a better way for me to keep track of the shadow's health, but that's okay. Okay.
Erasable pan.
You know, something like that. It will. So it takes this damage. And it is going to it can move 40 feet. So again, I imagine it kind of like.
I mean, if you
fall.
move in,
Yeah.
it's a study. There's a desk on the far side. A woman with a hood drawn over her head sits behind the table, stands behind the table. There are 2 more individuals within with her.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. The shadow will barrel on all of its limbs towards the woman. It can move 40 feet.
The woman says, "You should know better than to barge in. It's polite to knock." But your shadow rushes in. It's Carrion's turn afterward. So
Yes. The undead crow will fly off of Miraza's shoulder, kind of, and fly in, and it is going to provide the help action by pecking at what she assumes to be Esther to whoever goes next, potentially. So whoever makes a check or an attack or whatever against Esther next will have
actually,
advantage.
Penelope's blast would have gone off first
Oh,
as
yeah,
a response to you opening, or the shadow opening the door.
True enough.
So Penelope would be able to make the attack just without advantage. That's what I'm getting.
Okay. Understood.
So Penelope, if you would like to make your Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
In theory, if it was the first person, you wouldn't have seen Esther first because the door would have opened to that first minion. You're muted.
22.
Oh, 22 absolutely is.
Seven damage.
What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
My Eldritch Blast is this blood-colored energy that it almost looks as if it's coming out from her veins as it encases her hand, and kind of like not a softball throw, like baseball throw. She just hucks it.
And the energy kind of washes over this individual, and he cries in pain as the magic of malice that corrupts you overtakes him. He does not die. Let me be clear. that would bring us to Carrion, who flies in to give the help action to whomever is attacking Esther.
Correct.
That brings us across the hall. Yorgu, you're at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, he hears this noise and I think takes a look back and sees what I'm certain is the anguish, on Johann's face, and that fills him with fear and anger of his own. This man that he cares about so much, who saved him, is now going through the pain of potentially losing something and someone important to him. So he turns around and charges down the stairs, just full force. But as he's charging, he's going to just like give out a guttural, and as he does so, every step that he takes gets a little longer in its stride, as he grows to the point where, I don't know how large this cellar is, but he's probably brushing the ceiling, and almost moving into like running on all threes, both his feet, his free hand kind of out front, almost knuckle down on the ground, this cleaver kind of dragging behind him, causing sparks. And the moment that he can see something hostile, if he's able to reach it with his 40-foot movement, then he will attack it.
You make it to the bottom of the stairs. There are lanterns illuminating portions of this room to the what would be the west. So if you guys were coming down the stairs, that would put you at a southerly facing direction. So as you go down, there is like a small outshoot that would be like outside the house, perhaps in the past where the old stairwell would have been from outside. That is largely empty or full of storage. As you look what would be under the house greater, there is like a large section that is just like timber posts to support the house, and this is where the lanterns are hanging from. At the far end, so out of your range of movement, unless you use an action to dash, you see people tied in kind of like a row along what would be the south wall. There's like a makeshift medical looking station in like the center of the room, closer to the north wall, and on the far side, well, next to that table, you see a man in like a doctor's coat, and then you see some guy in like leather armor and maybe like a overcoat this color of like foliage or something. The noise that is like this metal being pulled taut is on the far side, held by two chains, one around each of their necks, are small bipedal falcon-like creatures. They are trying to pull off of this wall. You can see actually from that noise that you heard was two of the like bolts drilled into the brick have popped out because of how hard they're pulling on these manacles. You imagine they will probably be free in the next turn, metaphysically speaking.
Can he see where their aggression seems to be focused? Like, where are they pulling towards?
The one closest to the line of people is looking to harm them. It doesn't seem like it has a particular target as much as it is just trying to kill. The one more in like the center of the room or center of the wall would be kind of like kind of using the full pull of the chain and kind of like radius from there, and like kind of swiveling back and forth from the scientist to the people that he would be closest to and back and forth, kind of like his chain just taut. You do also see that just out of reach of the creature that is looking to attack the people, there is a sobbing woman.
How far away from the doctor am I at the end of a 40-foot move?
You would be within 10 feet of the doctor.
Excellent. You know that frying pan that I picked up earlier?
Yes.
As Yorgu like takes like the last like 3 lunges, he stops and squats and like spins around like a discus thrower, and then hurls this frying pan straight at this doctor.
Roll to attack.
So I have
Discus.
I have proficiency with improvised weapons, and I have crushing throw as part of my Giant's Havoc. So when you make a successful range attack with a thrown weapon using strength, you can add to the damage roll. All right. So this would be strength based as a thrown weapon. Okay, yeah. Excellent. So plus 7.
The equivalent of like power word yeet.
I don't know if it's gonna do it. A 12.
To the scientist, a 12 is what you need.
Fuck yeah. All right. So what do you want me to do for the damage on that?
I would say this is a D8.
D8. Okay. What's my strength? Ooh. Plus crushing throw. 14 points of damage, bludgeoning, and I also have push as a part of the crusher feat. Once per turn, when I hit a creature with an attack that deals bludgeoning damage, I can move them 5 feet to an unoccupied space if that target is no more than 1 size larger than you. So as I throw this frying pan at this doctor and it hits him, wherever it is that it makes contact with him, he's going to stagger 5 foot closer to the creature that's trying to grab him.
Well, the frying pan nearly did him in. But getting pushed into the reach of the creature instigates his held action, which will hit with a 17. 2 claws that look sharper than steel reach out, and this doctor, I want to say, like, you hit him, and like there's probably just the reverberation of the pan that hits him in the thud and then hits to the ground, and you see him kind of like trip over his feet on uneven cobblestones and what have you, and he falls like shoulder first right in reach to where this creature is swiveling back and forth, and he kind of looks up as the creature embanks in its maximum radius, and just like 2 claws to the face, he kind of like whimpers out in pain, and without immediate medical attention that only he could provide, he's probably going to die.
After having thrown that, Yorgu looks very satisfied at the outcome of this creature tearing into this doctor, who reminds him way too much of the people, the Morfenzi scientists who did such terrible, horrible things to him. And he kind of just like... That's it.
You can see that this creature is just kind of like ravenously chewing on the doctor at this point. Like once it's got him, it's just kind of like to the point where like the other one is half tempted to kind of derail from what his pursuit is, but being within this much range of live prey is too enticing. That brings us to the woman. She turns and sees you, Yorgu, and screams. She is going to attempt to kind of like keep as many of the people behind her as possible, as this room seems to be filling with monsters around her. I will say she's kind of like she's kind of interposing herself between the creatures that are destroying the doctor and what you can tell to be townsfolk. They all seem like, teenagers, young adults who look like farmers and the like, probably from the neighboring villages. Brings us to Johann, who is going to sprint downstairs and across the room towards his wife. He calls out to her, which puts him very close to the Iron Hood agent as well as the creatures. But that brings us to Poe. You are across the room. The door was just opened by the shadow creature. Penelope launched an Eldritch Blast in. It seemed to have struck somebody. You can see now the room is illuminated. It exploded as they opened, but you were far enough back that you were unaffected. What would you like to do?
Okay. I am going to I'm just gonna hide in shadows and creep toward the door to see what I can see, like through them.
Go ahead and roll stealth.
Oh, that'll do it. 28.
You feel one with the darkness. As you look into the room, you can see 3 individuals, 2 in more of like the plainclothes, leather armor, and black cloaks of what you would imagine to be the Iron Hoods, and then 1 in the back who has a little bit more like regalia, I guess. The armor's a little better, the cloak's a little nicer. There's like some stitching, probably iconography of the Iron Hoods. Who stands behind the desk. They all wear masks.
Okay. I am going to see how this plays out. So I am going to pause and attack when necessary.
Do you want to have an action ready for like a certain trigger?
Yeah, I will definitely have a like a ranged backstab on hand, being that I'm hidden. So
What is the trigger you would like to instigate this attack? When somebody moves, when somebody speaks?
I'll get back to you on it. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. It's gonna I want to see how the interaction is gonna go. So I'm going to hold to see how this, if they're gonna talk, if they're gonna fight, if they're what's going on. So that I'm gonna hold. So
that brings us to the spies. Within the room where the fire just blew up in front of you guys, the spy, I call them spies. The group of them are going to, well, actually, the one closest to the door is just going to shut the door. Downstairs. The one remaining Iron Hood that is close to you, well, not close to you, who is just in the room, he's close to Johann. He is going to attempt to shove Johann into the creature. It's the highest I rolled all day. 19 on the dice to take hold of. I'll roll for Johann to see if he can resist. Maybe I'll roll higher. I rolled the same. Okay. They are in a stalemate, kind of wrestling as Johann and this Iron Hood are trying to throw one another into the creature's grasp. The doctor at this point is just like a pulp on the ground. You cannot see what the remaining spies in the room do because the door is shut. Rhino, it is your turn. You're at the top of the stairs.
I would like to make my way down the stairs. I think I want to go towards think I want to go towards the good doctor and this Iron Hood.
Okay.
I think what I would like to do is try to rip this Iron Hood off of the doctor and toss him towards the creatures.
So for Johan to get all the way over there, he had to dash. To get to the bottom of the stairs and then to the Iron Hood, you'd also have to dash. Or use a ranged weapon of some kind, like frying pan.
I don't think I have any frying pans in my gear. I do, however, have a javelin. I could
javelin
lob there.
Is applicable.
I think I'll do that then.
Okay.
Ugh. That's a 12 to hit.
12 is what you need.
Okay, nice. 6 plus 3. That's 4 damage. I should have 2 attacks, so can I throw another one? I don't use javelins. Can I do 2 at a time?
Yep.
That's a 17 to hit.
Also hits.
And 5 damage.
You reach the base of the steps and throw these javelins, quickly recognizing a target. They both, though that you don't hear like the thud of a solid body hit, you can see the barbed tip of each of these javelins tear through the leather armor of this individual, and he is bleeding from the wounds. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think that's... I think other than drawing my actual sword now, I think that's it.
Okay. That brings us to the top of the round with Sarah, Penelope.
Penelope, before you act real quick, I think Maraza will just kind of like, I don't think she touches you, but she's like right there as this door gets slammed in our faces, and she just says, if you don't mind, continue attacking from a distance. My shadow is going to do something in that room. How big is that room, Baron? Like roughly, ballpark?
Oh, hold on.
I guess, is it bigger than 30 feet or is it smaller than 30 feet?
It's about 30 feet across.
Okay, perfect. Just do not go inside. For your own sake.
She nods.
I forgot the shadow was in there, so the shadow would have taken 2 attacks.
Okay. AC is 13. It's got a pretty low AC.
I'm pretty sure it's just 2. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, what was the AC?
13.
13.
1-3.
Okay, that'll be 2 hits.
Okay. Roll that
do you have
footage.
damage resistance at all?
Only to necrotic.
This isn't that at all.
Well, boo.
It's going to take a total of 9 slashing from both attacks, as well as 10 poison from both attacks total.
I think we'd have some kind of resistance or immunity to poison. Okay, no, it takes it all. Thank you, Baron.
You thank me.
I thank you. Hurt me more. Hurt me more.
I am a cruel but generous god.
Yeah, no, she will listen to Maraza and she'll keep her packed weapon in one hand and she won't. Well, she'll hold her action. She'll get ready to shoot another Eldritch Blast if she'll get ready to shoot an Eldritch Blast if Esther makes a move.
Okay. That brings us to the creatures downstairs. They are both going to attempt to break their chains. Wow, abysmally low on those ones. Frustrating. The chains hold on both of them. The doctor is being eaten. Well, actually, I think he's probably just mutilated enough that it's just kind of gore on the floor. The other is doing everything in its power to get a pant leg, to get a sleeve, to get a strap of something of either Johann Schwartz or this Iron Hood. They're going to hold their actions until something is close. Which brings us to Esther. Not Esther. Raza. Sorry.
We are not the same. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine. Okay, I think what Miraz is going to do is taking her own advice to Penelope. She's going to. So I know you can hold an action. Can you also hold an item interaction? Because I imagine to open the door would be an item interaction. Would that be fair?
Sure.
Okay. She is going to hold an action, that being a burning skull that will be lobbed at Esther, which she assumes is Esther. And she'll open the door after the shadow spawn has finished its turn. So that will be her trigger, if that's acceptable to you.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. That is going to be it for Maraza. So what happens in the room as this shadow that is just, again, like, it almost sounds like I imagine a child with rabies. Like, it's a horrible, horrible sound, just this cacophony of snarls and growls. It looks at the figure that may or may not be Esther. I imagine with these like almost like dead, still kind of yellowish green looking eyes and multiple heads. And I think for us outside the door of this study, there is just this cacophony of screaming. And it's all different. Again, it's all the same voice, which is really weird. And I think Maraza even kind of narrows her one good eye. Like she wasn't quite expecting this either. But it's all variations of come back, don't leave me, I'm sorry, come back, please. And I need every Iron Hood in that room to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, please. This is against the frightened condition if they have any benefits or anything to that.
Nope.
Okay.
What was the DC?
15. DC 15
right.
Wisdom.
One fails.
Okay.
Of the spies. Esther succeeds.
Of course. Okay. So was it both of the spies failed and then Esther succeeded, or was it only one of the spies?
Only one of the spies failed.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. That is going, I guess the shadow will also move if it hasn't already gotten to her. It's going to move to within 5 feet of Esther. That's going to end its turn, which means Miraza's held stuff will go off. So item interaction, she's going to open the door. Does anything happen when she opens the door?
Roll a d6.
A d6, you say? That is a dose, a big 2.
What was the effect of that shadow?
It was basically a 30-foot radius scream of fear, essentially frightened condition.
So, all right. You open the door, and you see that the shadow is over top one of these assailants. But they are standing at the desk where you presumed Esther to be, in the more regaled uniform. They are terrified.
Okay, so it seems like that individual was affected, even though mechanically we know that individual was not affected. Is that correct?
No. Essentially what you're seeing is what you thought to be Esther is actually one of the spies that were affected by the scream. So metaphysically speaking, you can tell that this was an imposter.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the one behind the desk was not actually Esther. It was somebody else. Correct. It was one of the spies. Understood. Okay,
so the shadow is essentially approaching not
the
Esther.
Wrong person. Understood. Okay. Maraza will, I think, kind of noticing that they've kind of switched positions, it seems like. I assume, does she see the more regalia-adorned individual?
Yeah, I mean, that person's across the room from you.
Okay, cool. She will reach into her satchel. She kind of whispers this necromantic incantation under her breath. And she pulls out a human skull that is covered from crown to the bottom of its jaw in necromantic runes. They ignite in fire, and she chucks it at that individual as she casts Burning Skull, aka Firebolt, again aiming at who she believes to be Esther, not the imposter. That is a 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
All right, that is going to be 2d10 fire damage.
Well, all right. Actually, roll another d6.
Okay.
Because
There's
you're
a
essentially
3.
choosing between two guys that look exactly the same now.
Well, it should be aiming for the one that's a little more ornate.
So that one is what I'm saying is you determine that
Is
if
not
we're
Esther.
if we're looking at the mechanics of what's been rolled, you would be able to deduce that that was not Esther because one of the spies failed,
Mhm.
but the only person in here that's cowering fear is the person in high regalia.
Got it. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And she'd aim at, I guess, one of the other ones.
And
I'm
you rolled a
hoping that
3.
that's Esther.
So roll your
Yeah.
damage.
Okay, if D&D Beyond will cooperate. All right, it's not cooperating. So I'm sorry. I'm going to roll manual dice. 3 and 2. So I assume 30 and a 20 is 5, I guess. 2d10. 3
What
and a
did I
5.
say?
2d10 fire damage. So it's only 5 points of fire damage.
2d10, you rolled a 3 and a 5, and it's only 5 points of fire damage. Wouldn't it be
Right.
8 points of fire damage?
Oh, yes. Sorry. 8. Math. Sorry. I was rolling my percentile instead of my d10. D&D Beyond not working kind of threw me a little bit. Yes, 8. Thank you, Baron.
So 8 damage.
To
This
whoever
just
that
a-
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would have been the same one that Penelope had hit.
Okay.
So they're taking damage.
Okay. So we have one like especially damaged spy, one spy that hasn't been touched, and regalia person, correct?
Yes, who is cowering in fear.
Okay. Thank you. Carrion, actually, Maraza technically would have had advantage on that, I think, because
So Carrion would have been on the one with regalia because that was the one you were under the impression was Esther when you sent Carrion in there.
Okay. Okay.
You know what
Then
I'm
I
saying?
think, yeah, understood. Then I think for Carrion, for his turn, he's going to move over to the damaged one to provide advantage using the help action and just kind of pecking and clawing at that individual. And that'll be his turn. So that is it for Maraza and her menagerie of horrors. That's the end of my turn, or the end of my held stuff.
Which brings us to Esther. The individual in the far side of the room, unscathed, speaks to you, Maraza. What would stay your hand, sister? I could kill you now, but I would hate to see another one of my family die needlessly for the wench whose responsibility it is for all of us who are in peril every full moon.
So I think Penelope, since you're the closest and Maraza doesn't really know where Poe is, I think when Esther says another member of our family die needlessly, she actually flinches, like a full body flinch. But then she steels herself, kind of grabbing the hilt of her rapier, and she says, unless you have more proof than you did the last time we crossed paths in Silbervoss about these outlandish bullshit claims you're making, there is nothing that can stay my hand.
Written documentation, multiple accounts, corroborated evidence. I could take you to the grove where the pact was signed. I've seen it with my own eyes, sister.
It's at a turn. Can she make an insight check to see if Esther's telling the truth? Such a kind, generous DM. That is a 14, a 7 plus 7. If it helps, passive insight is 17.
Like you said, you know your talons better than you've ever known your sister.
Yeah, I don't think. Fuck. Do you have any proof here with you now?
Journals. A diary entry from the Queen Führer herself.
I think at that, Maraza's going to look over to Penelope again and see kind of how she's taking this. I don't think she's going to say anything. She's just going to kind of tilt her head and look at Penelope / Isabella / actor / model.
Esther holds her action. That brings us to back across the house, Yorgu.
Okay, so we still have two of these creatures on chains. One of them seems occupied for the moment, snacking on the doctor. The other one is trying to grab at Johann and the Iron Hood, who are still tussling.
Correct. Can I pause right there for 1 second? I just want to be clear.
Certainly.
Before I walk away from that scene. Esther seems to be moving towards where the shadow is over top of this cowering spy, towards the far wall.
Understood.
And then she holds her action. Yorgu, correct. So you're downstairs. There is like this line of people. They seem to be like held behind by the wife of Johann, who is tussling with this Iron Hood, with very, very close to the grasp of this creature, while the other is now starting to lose interest in his mutilated corpse and is kind of also now interested in the scuffle going on beside him.
So I think what Yorgu does first is like takes a step towards these townspeople that are kind of gathered over on the side behind Yorgu's wife, and he just kind of like puts a free hand up towards them and just like motions for the stairs. Go!
You can see that they are tied to the wall with chains.
Well, that's not going to help. All right. In that
like,
case,
okay, I'm sorry, we can't.
Yoink!
What's wrong with you?
Run!
So get to the chopper. So instead, I think he's going to close the distance with Johann and this Iron Hood, if he can, with 40 feet.
Oh yeah, 100%. It would just the
Excellent.
second movement is all you need to get within range. You just can't get all the way to the creatures, which are 5 feet away from you still. Like 5
Okay.
feet away. Out of
And you said there was like a first aid type setup,
not so much first aid as it is like
torture.
yeah.
Okay, I imagine Yorgu would be a little too familiar with more than one of the implements or whatever that's probably laid out around here. As he starts to close with, this little like scuffle, he's just gonna pick up the first thing that like his hand lands on this torture rack, whatever tool it just happens to be, something that looks big and heavy. He's just gonna grab it without even really looking at it and pick it up. And as he gets to where the two of them are kind of like constantly back and forth, he stops for half a second and then times it and just clocks this guy straight in the side of the head with this heavy implement. Recklessly.
Roll a d12.
A d12?
D12 is actually probably roll a d6.
d6. Okay.
We're out here just handing out D12s.
1.
It was surgical forceps.
Perfect. All right. So the first swing is a 12.
And this is for the spy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the Iron Hood downstairs.
Iron Hood.
12 will hit.
Excellent. Damage wise for these forceps?
Forceps, we're gonna say D4.
D4. Excellent. Plus strength is, and then 8, and then from the crusher 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Good God. What does it look like as you kill this guy?
So I think, again, he kind of like grabs this. You just hear like them scrape across the surface of the table for just an instant. Takes the last stride between him where he's picked this tool up and where they're having this scuffle with each other. Takes just a half a second to make sure that he's not going to hit Johann, and then just calculatedly just swings like a cross. And we just hear this guy's head just like snap to the side under the weight of this strike. And then he just takes his hand, that big, massive paw, and puts it between the two of them. And again, just shoves this Iron Hood towards this monster and pulls the back of the shirt of the doctor further away.
One of the creatures within arm's reach latches on to it and pulls it in to begin mutilating it.
He looks at the doctor. 3 people in the run.
That brings us to his wife, who she's kind of like, call Johan, please help me. She's chained to the wall, so there's not a whole lot she can do. Johan begins searching the table and quickly realizes the keys are on that guy's belt. Like this creature's like shaking him back and forth, and you can hear the key actually like ding 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 ding.
Does he say anything about that to us?
The keys, they're on the belt.
Yorgu immediately like turns and looks back towards him. I still have a second attack.
Yeah.
On my turn.
Hell
oh
yeah,
no, it was
No,
it was Johan's
That's
turn.
fine.
Never mind.
That's fine. It's okay. Attack.
Okay. He's gonna step forward and just basically grab this guy's belt that's got the keys on it and just pull as hard as he can.
Roll a strength saving throw. Strength check. Athletics. You got a big number to beat.
That's probably not gonna do it.
Not that big.
Do I have advantage on? I think I have
maybe
advantage
in giant
because
form?
I think because I'm raging. Okay, that's a lot better. It's 22.
Meets it beats. I also rolled a 22. This guy's torso rips in half, and you get his legs. Very nearly do you think that this belt is going to pull away, but thankfully you grabbed the pants and pulled. You are able to get these keys. I will say that Johan is no longer able to utilize the keys because of the timey-wimey nature of how this turn rolled out. Yep. But that brings us to Poe across the room, across the house. You are watching.
I am going to use my stored up backstab from a range and shoot the guy in front of the shadow that she's walking toward.
Sure. Roll attack. I'll say you have advantage because within. Are they afraid or something? You probably had advantage for something.
You have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls are the source of fears. I don't think people attacking it would have advantage on
But the
attacks.
Shadow was within range of
correct. So
that.
you get like your sneak attack or whatever you would get for that.
5 feet. I rolled a 25.
Oh yeah.
With backstab. So how does that work again with?
So you roll damage, then you should have sneak attack, which is a certain amount of d6s that you would add.
Where is that at?
Should be.
There it is. 3d6. Nice. All right. So
yeah, it'd be 3d6 plus your 1d6 for your short bow, presumably, and then your dex mod.
Oh, sassafras. So the first was 4. So 4 plus 1, 2, 3. So 11, I think. Yeah. Well, no. Wait. 6, 7, 8, 9, 13.
And that's plus the 2 from your dexterity modifier?
No. So
15.
plus 3. I got plus 3 for dexterity.
16.
So 15. 15 or 16? 16.
You shoot this guy. And the thud from the arrow sinking into solid chest is audible. He kind of gasps out. You can tell that like punctured lung or something because he can't really like scream out. Plus he's terrified. So
I think as Poe shoots, he like shoots over the shoulder of Maraza, so it like whizzes by his ear and hits the guy.
Her.
So it's like, bonk.
Maraza's a lady.
God dang it! Sorry,
We'll get it. We'll get it. We got
it's
one
the
more.
one eye that keeps throwing me.
With the one eye, only men can have one eye.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
It's the scars. I've not seen ladies with scars like that. I think, yeah, and then I will just slink back into the shadows.
Roll stealth.
That would be another 25.
You disappear. We see the lights of your eyes go black, and you slink into the shadows. That brings us to the spy's turn. Frightened, they have to use their movement to get away.
You cannot willingly move closer to the source of the fear, so if the shadow is like in front of it, it can only go back, essentially. Or I guess to the left or to the right. It's kind of stuck, basically.
I'm going to just walk you through my process here, because it would like to flee, but the only door
is where we are.
That's actually okay.
Is there a window? Could it like? Oh no, it was downstairs.
So,
well, yes, it could
no,
maybe smash
it
out a
wasn't
window.
downstairs, but I told you that you didn't see any windows.
Mm-hmm.
This individual that is terrified looks to Esther, who kind of like, and they pivot and throw themselves through a wall that looks suspiciously blank. You hear the shatter of glass and like a thud on the ground.
The shadow would get an attack of opportunity if he's still alive, unless he used a disengage or something.
He would have disengaged, actually. They have
okay.
access to that.
Fair enough.
So it seems as if concealed within some sort of illusion of some kind, there is windows that could have been used as a means of escape for those who didn't want you to know they had a means of escape.
Fair enough. Sneaky, sneaky bastards.
The other spy is going to...
Oh, did the Iron Hood downstairs, did he get ed up?
He done. He got ripped
in
half.
Thank you.
The other spy... He's going to attack the shadow.
Okay.
17 on the die.
That hits. You don't need to add anything. Well, he's an AC of 13.
So it's going to take 6 points of slashing. And good God, 10 points of pierce or poison.
6 and 10?
Correct.
Okay. The shadow is barely cohesive. It's kind of wavering a little bit. It's a lot of damage. Jeez, it's a lot of damage.
This spy is going to move itself, so it is now behind the desk, beside what you know now to be Esther. In the event that they need to move, this spy is going to finish bonus action disengage. Then it brings us to Rhynal, across the house, downstairs, at the bottom of the stairs. You just threw 2 javelins. That guy is ripped in half now. It just seems like there's 2 creatures that are, they seem to be like steadily growing in size. Everyone's reaction right
there. These people that are down here, you said they're chained up.
Yeah.
Are they like all individually chained? Or are they all like chained in a line? What are we talking?
I'm gonna say like every third person is chained, and there's probably like 20 people down here.
And then they're kind of like chained together, or just?
Yeah, so every 3 people are chained together.
Okay. Well, the only other 2 threats left down here right now are these creatures, right?
Correct. Neither of which have sustained damage.
I'm thinking that I might have to change that because I was gonna cut their chains, but that's too many chains to go hacking through right now on one turn. So I think I'm going to attempt to approach one of these creatures. Is there one of them that seems like are they chained together or are they individually
No,
chained?
they're independent.
I think I'm just going to kind of make a quick judgment of whichever one looks like it might be breaking away first, and just go for that.
They look about the same, but I mean, from where you're standing, it seems like the one that's more threatening is the one that's closer to everybody.
That works.
So you're able to close the distance.
That's going to be a 13 to hit.
Ooh, actually, 13 will not hit.
Right. Let me check. I think I have a thing for my great sword.
It's an alright sword, dude. Okay.
I have the graze ability for my great sword.
Sure.
If your attack roll with a greatsword misses a creature, you can deal damage to it equal to the ability modifier used to make this attack. So was that strength? So 3 damage on a graze, and then I'll swing at it again.
When you do, the woman immediately cries out, "No, not my babies!" Roll to attack.
I think visually, with kind of having Reinald's back being to these people, I don't think there's a reaction like from their site, but should we be able to see Reinald's face, he has this look that he already kind of figured this and has already reconciled himself to this fact that the doctor's kids are gone. I'm going to use my inspiration for that one. That's going to take it up to an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
7 damage.
Your sword swings into the creature, making contact. It cuts into its flesh. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think that's it this time.
All right, Penelope. The door is open.
Coolsies.
I don't know if we ever used your Eldritch Blast on something.
We did not. So
Want to.
I'm just gonna use it now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we're gonna Eldritch Blast Esther,
Okay.
since we now know where she's at. Be nice to me, dice. That's an 18 to hit.
An 18 does not hit.
Jesus, that's a problem. Ooh.
Okay, I have a second attack, so we're gonna just Eldritch
Oh.
Blast her again.
Higher than a
Well, that would have been your reaction, so you can just have a full turn now.
Cool. Let's see. 22.
22 will hit.
Cool. So that first one is 5 damage.
Okay. Roll again.
Well, again. Oh, I'm not gonna hit this time. That's an 11.
11 will not hit.
And let me see. Yeah. That is all she is gonna do right now. Wait.
I don't love you like I love you.
Bonus action. She is going to place Hex on Esther.
Okay. Doesn't that make me not good at one of my saving throws or something?
I don't know why it did that, but that's fine.
Now he casts Hellish Rebuke.
Bleh.
What?
So, I place a curse on the creature. Deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage. The target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability. So I get to choose one ability when I cast the spell. So
It's ability checks, right? Not saving throws, Sarah?
I'm reading.
Okay.
Yes, it is ability checks.
Okay.
I'm gonna do dexterity.
That's a good one.
So
Okay.
now, anytime I hit her, I also deal an extra 1d6
Spooky damage.
spooky damage.
All right, that brings us to the creatures. There we go. Both of them. Ping, 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 as these bolts rip from the wall and creatures are let loose. Rhino, you're going to get the first one as it makes 2 claw attacks against you. The first is an 18, the second is a 12.
The 18 will hit, 12 will not.
Okay. You are going to take 13 points of slashing damage. As this thing's claws rake into your flesh. Poe, will you roll me a d6, please?
Can I can only use this once, but I think I want to activate my Cloud Rune ability on that.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. What does Cloud Rune ability do?
When you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to choose a different creature other than the attacker within 30 feet of you to become the target of the attack instead, using the same roll.
Pretty good.
I would like for it to attack the other creature that's chained to the wall.
Sure. How much damage did I say it did? 13? 1, 2, okay. Devastating blow into the side of its companion. Yorgu, the other is going to attack you as you step in the front of Johan. I rolled the same, a 12 and an 18.
Same results. 18 will hit, the 12 will not.
You are going to wow, a lot lighter than Rhinald's. You're going to take 7 points of slashing. Actually, no, I'm sorry. 11 points of slashing.
11 points. Do you round up or down?
We can do down for damage.
Okay. So I should take 5.
Yes.
All right.
But these creatures are now loose. Both of you can tell from their erratic style that they don't feel compelled or locked in combat with either one of you. They're not like battle IQ of the scenario. They're just going to attack whoever's closest. That could be people. That brings us to Maraza.
So I think after Penelope attacks Esther, Maraza has this moment where she thinks, how many times has this happened? How many times have I let her go intentionally or otherwise? Yes, maybe she has proof that Vladeska is the source of all of this horribleness, but do you trust an Iron Hood? Do you trust someone that did what she did to Johann? Like, I think in a weird way, seeing this sort of crimson energy lash out from Penelope, that focuses Maraza in this moment. She kind of looks down at this filthy, oversized Talon uniform that she's wearing, that she kicked off some corpse. She looks at the burnt Talon captain's insignia, and she'll look to you, Penelope, and just say, "We should kill the other two, and then we can do whatever we need to." And she is going to rush into the room. She will try to get to the injured spy that crashed through the illusion. Can she get there with 30 feet?
So by entering the room, you're actually going to instigate Esther's reaction.
Okay.
Which is smoke bomb.
Ooh. Don't like that.
The room is filled with smoke, and everyone's visibility is now reduced to 5 feet in front of them. I also need you and Penelope to make Constitution saving throws.
Okie doke.
So, I mean, you have the blinded condition until the end of my next turn.
Okay. I got an 11. I don't have any more inspiration or nothing.
DC 16.
Fair enough.
What did you get, Penelope?
Thought I unmuted. I got a 19.
A 19 will pass, which is good for you. 6. Maraza, you're going to take 28 points of poison damage.
Jesus Christ.
Penelope, you are going to take 14. And you are not blinded.
Right. I'm blinded. So question. If I can't see anything within 5 feet, like, she knows where that illusion was. Does she get there before the blinded hits, or does that happen after the fact?
The trigger is you entering the room.
Got it. Okay.
So as soon as you took the 5 feet in, she threw the bomb.
Okay. Well,
I mean, you still can lumber over there.
Yeah, that's a really bad situation for her. She's going to bonus action. She's going to pop her potion of healing because she is not doing well. Pulls out this like iron flask essentially. Uncorks it, downs. It's just horrible, like bloody contents. And she will roll that. Roll manually because the Beyond's being weird. Okay, that's not terrible. It's not great. Okay, so that's bonus action. Because I know for your games, bonus actions are for healing potions. Yeah, she'll still try to get over there to where she recalled seeing the injured Iron Hood. And try to get within 5 feet.
You stumble into the room. It was 30. It's a 30-foot room. It's
right.
Like you walk across and you're at what appears to be a wall, but you can feel the night air coming through.
Okay. Does she see the Iron Hood? Is he within 5 feet, or he or she?
I don't think she dispelled the illusion. I know interaction can dispel the illusion, but it's a major illusion.
Mm-hmm. Well, so but didn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we see, because the door was open at the time, didn't we see that Iron Hood go like lunging through that because they were so badly injured?
There's an opening in. They actually weren't injured. I don't. And they were a little bit.
Yeah, I thought they were the most injured.
They launched themselves through an illusory wall.
Mm-hmm. Here to break
the illusion is still there.
Okay.
So you can't see through the illusion. You'd have to hop out as well.
Fuck.
Which you could use your action.
Yeah, I don't want to do that though. Crap. I think what she will do, so that was a very hard hit. She'll just take the dodge action, I think, for now.
Okay.
The shadow, if I remember correctly, was over this injured individual.
Shadow would have also needed to
I
roll.
need to make the con saves. Let me do that.
It might be immune. I don't know what immunities it has.
I wish it was. I don't
We
think
determined that it
is.
isn't poison resistant.
Correct.
Damn,
You
that
said
sucks.
DC 16?
The total was 28.
Nope. That is 6. The shadow disperses.
Carrion, in all honesty, would have also been subject.
Yeah,
to
I was just going to. I don't know if Carrion can even make that save. Let's see. Maybe he'll get lucky.
Well, can Carrion survive 14 points of damage?
No, he can't. He actually beats save. Beats it. But yeah, the undead crow just explodes in a burst of like rotting flesh and bird bones. That is it. Rough. That was a rough turn. That's it.
It is Esther's turn. You would really choose to die here, sister. Foolish.
You said that you had proof last time. She's coughing, kind of like spitting out horrible necromantic healing potion. You say a lot of things. Where is it?
On the desk.
Well, I can't see shit because you threw a fucking smoke bomb.
She is going to move in and attack you.
Go for it.
I will do a disadvantage. It doesn't fucking matter. 18 and 17. You feel a solid strike with the base of a rapier as she hits you with non-lethal damage.
What is the to hit, please? Total.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot you have shield. Plus, that's like 26 and 27.
Jesus. Yeah, hell no. Yeah, nope.
I'm starting to think your sister's a badass.
Everyone liked Esther better. It's true.
14 points of bludgeoning, non-lethal to knock you unconscious.
she's down. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she just kind of comes up. This person in a mask emerges from the shadow as you cough, your eyes bleeding tears, and she just cracks you over the side of the head. We hear a thump. She's going to use her movement to jump out the window. End of her turn. Smoke fades. The only person that's in here is the spy, and they seem to be getting ready to flee as well. But it is Eorgu's turn.
All right. I don't know what this means as far as what you're going to need from me for rolls, but here's what I would like to attempt. He's going to, like, bound around behind where these two creatures are, putting his cleaver back onto his back. He reaches down and grabs a hold of the anchor points that they're dragging at the end of these chains that they just broke through, like, off of the wall, and he's going to pull them as hard as he can towards his chest and tie them into a knot.
Give me... This is going to be a strength saving throw.
Love to hear it.
DC 20.
All right. Well, one of them is a very sexy big ol' critty.
Hey!
So a dirty 20 turns into a 27. Not a dirty 20. A natural 20 turns into a 27.
27. So I think you are able to do just that. We actually see like where you're kind of squared off with this one, and you were kind of below in almost like a primate like stance. And I think like there's a slight juke as you pivot on one hand and kind of like slide on your bottom leg to get behind them, kind of wrapping one of the chains in one arm and like pulling back. His creature like jerks its neck back. And you're able to slide into the other, and you kind of rapidly do what you can to like slip knot these two together. So as they pull apart, it just binds tighter.
Yep.
Let's get actually. We'll determine how strong this knot is. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh.
Whatever the roll is of the check is what they need to beat on a strength save to undo it.
Okay. Intelligence.
This is based on the fact that tying a chain together with another chain in 6 seconds is probably hard.
7.
I mean, they're wrapped together pretty confidently. Oh no. What happened?
Oh no, parents. Face.
What
Baron
happened?
turned into a black screen. Oh no! Baron, return to us.
Baron, no!
Why?
I tied a knot so well, he disappeared.
Tied a knot in his internet connection. Too powerful.
Damn, Esther did escape. He's gone.
Baron's like, smoke bomb for real, y'all.
Smoke bomb for real. This bitch.
Immersion.
Can't see fucking
He's a method.
anything.
He's definitely a method actor.
Mhm.
Why?
There you go.
There you
You're
go.
back.
Stupid dude.
Cool.
The invisibility spell wore
I am
off.
fully confident in this super strong, very
We'll make
well-tied
it
knot.
We'll make it 7 plus 8, so they got to get a DC 15.
Okay. I appreciate
Part.
the extreme kindness.
We'll give you something here. That's your action. Do you have a bonus action or anything like that?
No, unfortunately, I do not have any potions, so that's gonna be it. I don't think there's anything else bonus action wise that he can do. Nope. Está todo.
So that's gonna bring us to the wife, who is being freed by Johann on his turn, which is next. So she is readying an action to assist. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what her ready action is. Johann is going to unlock her, and when she is free, she is going to run to the nearest creature to try and embrace her child. The creature did not have a ready action to attack, so she is just like within arm's reach of this feathered, clawed, screeching monster. Poe. Back on the other side of the house, you are in the shadows. You see Maraza has gone into a smoke-filled room. Penelope stays by the door. This is the second thing that's exploded out of this room in the last 2 minutes. Briefly after Maraza enters, the smoke clears, and all you see is the one individual standing in there, the one Iron Hood.
I think he's going to go over to Penelope and say, awful convenient that when he goes in, she escapes again. For the 3rd time. But you make your own conclusions out of that.
Would you like to attack at all?
Is there somebody in the room still then?
Yeah, there's still a single Iron Hood. I will say you have compromised your stealth by approaching Penelope.
Yep. I am going to take cover and shoot at him.
Roll with advantage.
Oh, shoot. Did I just roll a 6? Why did I roll that? Oh, I rolled damage. That's why. Okay. 25. Again. Holy shit.
25 will hit.
Okay, so this is not a sneak attack, so it's just standard damage?
So you did claim to have stealth. I mean, I'll give it to you there. And you can use your sneak attack for this.
Okay. So 6 damage there, plus 1, 2, 3. Oops. How do I take one off? Go the other way. Is it okay? There we go. So 6, 19, 22.
What does it look like as you kill this guy?
I think that he hits him like in the forehead and sticks him to the cabinet.
Piercing his skull, affixing him to the cabinet behind the desk.
And then he looks at her and says, he doesn't say anything. He just looks at her and lowers his head in a respectful manner.
At the moment, you do not see any more combatants, but you are loosely aware that there should be more. If there's nothing else, Poe, that brings us to the Iron Hoods, which are fleeing or dead. Which brings us to Rhynol.
What's the ground in this basement made of?
Think like stone and mortar.
Are there any metallic objects around in the room that like maybe the size of a javelin with a point on the end of it or anything like that?
Roll a
Fire-
d10. Evens,
fire
yes.
poker.
Odds, no.
That's a 40.
All right, so that's a yes. This is like what would become like a complete spear. It's like the core of a spear. Heavy spear.
Okay.
Pike.
Here's what I would like to do. I would like to use my giant smite ability and go ahead and grow to my largest size. I would like to take this object that I found, go over to where Yorgu has like tied these chains and find a piece where they meet and it's touching the ground, and I want to do everything I can to take this metal pole and drive it between one of the chain links and just stick it as far into the ground as I can with my new giant strength that I've got at the moment.
Roll athletics. You're looking for like a 20. We'll do 20.
That is a 23.
The bar of iron, crude and partially dull on one end, finds a separation of rock. It's probably not mortar on the ground. It's probably like some sort of fill slag sand or something, but you embed this at least a foot deep into the ground. You are muted if you're speaking.
I would also like to use my action surge then after that and attack one of these things if I can.
Yeah.
Right. That's a nat 1. That dice is going to jail.
Directly to Jack.
Do I get my second attack with an action surge too, right?
Yes. It's just your multi-attack.
That is a 21 to hit on the second attack.
21 will hit.
13 damage.
Okay.
Oh wait, actually I get an extra d6 for my
being
giant
big.
form. So 18 damage total.
So another 5.
Yeah, extra 5.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do? You've prisoned them to the floor, did some damage.
Just stand there menacingly and to keep yelling at all
Or
of
a
these
farm.
people that are down here to get out of here.
Bonus action or a farm.
Don't follow me if you want to live.
That brings us to the top of the round with Penelope.
With Esther leaving, does the illusion go away?
It does not.
Okay. Does the smoke clear?
Yes. It's
by
mostly
the
at the end
time.
of Esther.
Okay,
Cleared at the end of Esther's turn.
that's what I wanted to make sure of. So she just kind of ignores Poe and looks about the room. She sees Maraza on the floor. And she steps towards the desk, trying to be mindful of her steps. Her steps are slow. They're methodical in a way where she's stepping slow enough that if she feels something beneath her foot, she's lifting her foot. And she kind of glances over her shoulder and looks at Poe and says, "You admonish her for not killing her sister, but look what her sister did here. It's exactly the same. Do you have words for that?"
It's more of the same, more death everywhere. The way we live now, isn't it?
We will see.
Something that needs to be stopped for sure. All this death.
Hmm.
As he like, he's like, oh shit, I'm dead. But
And she attempts to approach the desk. That's where she's going, is the desk.
Give me a perception check.
Cool. Be nice to me. Oh, that's a whole 10.
You didn't see any traps.
Cool.
You you begin searching the desk, just a rough scan, and it seems to be covered in like journals. There's a couple like manila folders full of documents. There seems to be like a diary. One of them sticks out most of all. It is very simple, but with a red ribbon. And like when you see it, you kind of are hit with like one of those sharp pains in the back of your head that kind of like leaches through your whole brain.
Yeah.
But then it fades.
Okay. She's not going to touch anything yet. She's actually going to, her hands are kind of clasped behind her back, and she looks at Poe and she just says, "I need you to wake her up."
are you talking about Maraza?
Who else?
Gladly. He takes out his water skin and like just dumps it on her face. Wake up. Wake up.
I have a question, Baron. Are we? Oh, I guess are we still initiative in the upstairs or no?
So
this
I think
point.
we'd actually probably be breaching the end of Penelope's turn. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Me?
You.
Pourquoi?
It's acid.
It's acid. This asshole.
Whoop!
God, my
Wrong
roll's
water
been
skin,
terrible.
sorry.
5.
Oopsie poopsie.
5, Baron.
Okay. We go over to Yorgu, as Esther is no longer in the field of vision. Yorgu, what would you like to do? The falcon hounds are pinned to the ground by the chains you knotted together.
I think now that it seems like they're kind of pinned in place and not going to be an immediate threat to the people who are stuck, and that buys hopefully the doc some time. Did the doc get the keys? Johan get keys? Okay, good.
Yeah. He unlocked his wife, who is now dangerously close to one of these creatures.
Okay. Then he's going to go to that one, the one that she's the closest to, and once again reach up and grab a hold of this large rectangular chopping instrument and grab the second half of it, raise it above his head, and is going to swing it twice at this creature that she's closest to. Recklessly. Okay, that is a 26.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright. It's going to be slashing damage to the tune of 15 points from the first one.
Okay.
That is... where is that? Oh, here we go. Is the other creature within striking distance of me if I have an increased
Yes.
reach? Okay. In that case, I'm going to use Cleave once per turn. If you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can make another melee attack with it against the second creature.
Okay.
So that one is going to be... Hell yeah, that's another 22.
That'll hit.
Okay, on a hit, the second creature takes the Great Axe's damage, but without your ability modifier. Okay, so just the D12 then. 6 points of slashing to the second one.
Okay. Your second attack?
Second attack, still reckless. That is, hell yeah, that is going to be a 24.
24 will hit.
Slashing damage to the tune of 12.
It is barely hanging on.
Excellent. Okay. I can't do cleave again, so that is it.
This woman is frantically, my baby, no, don't hurt my baby.
Stand away!
She's gonna move closer to both of you, but actually, I think no. Yeah, this is what's happening. Johan is too busy unlocking people. He's undone 4 of the 6 shackles to the wall. Poe.
I think that with a smile on his face, he will reach his hand down to help Maraza up to her feet. I caught it that time. Her feet.
So is she conscious right now, Baron, or is she still out?
You can be conscious. You are exhausted.
Okay, so I have a level of exhaustion.
Yes.
Okay. If we end up still being in initiative potentially, you might have a thing that I do on my turn. But yeah, she gets up. She looks visibly frustrated and dripping wet, of course. A little unsteady on her feet. I think as she realizes it's you, Whisper, she immediately like shoves you away, grabs her rapier, kind of spits at your feet, and kind of looks around wildly trying to find Esther, but of course she's not there. So I will hold off until it gets back to where Maraza is in turn. But she's up, I guess, with 1 hit point, I assume, Baron?
1 hit point and a murderous headache.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay.
Poe, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I would like to check and see. I think that he's gonna make sure there's no traps on the contents on the table. Make sure it's the book or whatever the thing is not
Yes.
trapped. And then
You
if
should
it's
have
not,
a search for traps option. I don't know if that applies for rogues in 2024 anymore.
where is that?
Search for trap.
Where do I find that on here?
Looking. Second.
Actions.
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you want me to do like a dexterity check
All right. Uno momento.
or investigation?
Or,
Perception?
We'll do an investigation.
Oh, I'm going to re-roll that one. Investigation. All right, 18 instead of
Does it appear to be
4.
trapped on the desk?
I think he's
But the
going to.
drawer is locked.
Oh, so it wasn't on the desk? It's in the desk?
Everything that you see on the desk is not trapped.
All right,
But
well,
the door, the drawer to the desk is locked.
all right. I'm going to pull out my lockpicks and look to Penelope for approval.
I think Penelope just rolls her eyes and waves her hand to just tell him to continue.
You're
All
not
right,
a
so-
fucking dog. Just do it.
So he's gonna open it.
Roll a dexterity with proficiency. Or sleight of hand. That's what it is.
Oh, what is it?
Sleight of hand.
All right, okay. I rolled the wrong one then. Oh, shoot. 20. Dirty.
You insert your lockpicks and are able to easily push the tumblers into place. And the drawer kicks open. It's a deep, like, side drawer. And within seems to be some sort of, like, sprig of, like, mistletoe. And beside it is like some sort of orb of desiccated flesh.
I think he's not gonna touch that and like look at Maraza and go, I think this is maybe your what's the word I'm looking for? Special.
Area of expertise. Yes.
There he goes. Yeah, it's like it looks dead. Here, you do it.
All right. That brings us to Rhino.
Do I keep wailing on one of these things, or do I push this lady out of here?
Actually, what we'll do is we're kind of running close on time. And you guys are definitely going to be able to, like, meat lock or beat the shit out of these creatures until they're dead. We end with a coup de grace. Please describe how you kill one of these creatures before it cuts down Johann's wife.
I think that Reinald's been out for blood this entire time. He has been thinking, like, kill them as fast and as quickly as we can so that we can limit casualties. He has expected there to be death down here. He's kind of surprised that there hasn't been much so far. He goes to swing this big great sword at one of these creatures, and there's a cry of anguish from the mother, because this is definitely the decapitating blow. This is going to end it. Just before the blade strikes the neck to decapitate, Reinhold turns the sword in his hand, and it strikes the side of this thing's head with the flat of the blade to knock it out. And I think he just goes over to it afterwards with a dagger or something and, like, quietly puts it out of its misery.
And the creature dies. Yorgu, how do you dispatch the other?
Unfortunately, it is not quiet and merciful like what Reynal has done. I think after slashing at this thing twice, it rounds on him, and there's a point where the two of them have, like, locked hands with each other, and he's basically trying to keep these claws away from him. And there's this back and forth between the two of them, and eventually he crunches his fists down, breaking the bones in this thing's hands, and then pulls their arms down by their side as hard as he can, kind of popping both of the thing's arms like out of its sockets and its shoulders. And then with it, disabled, reaches up and grabs a hold of both halves of this thing's beak and just folds it open backwards.
And it falls limp and lifeless to the floor.
And then he roars, takes a few steps, and falls unconscious.
You are able to usher right now the survivors from the basement. You are quickly able to surmise that these are individuals from those communities that you passed on the way here that had reported missing individuals. You notice that quite a few of them have surgical incisions on various parts of their body. Like one of the guys has one like down the side of his face and his eye is all swelled up. And most of them refrain from speaking of the horrors they experienced. It's quickly determined that it was experimentation. You're able to pull Yorgu out of the basement as well with the help of Johann. And unconsolable, the wife, Meredith of Johann, is distraught. Johann himself looks hollow, a ghost of himself. The group of you are able to reconvene upstairs, where you are able to go to the office. What would you guys like to do?
I think Maraza will go over to the desk to look at these things. I think it's odd. I think there's this look of like deep frustration that this has happened for a third time now, with Esther escaping. But I think there was this moment when she was unconscious where she remembered something that had happened when she and Esther were children. And I think she now knows why it is that her sister keeps getting away. Because I think for the first time in roughly 20 years, she has recalled that when she was 8 and Esther was 10, and the family had just fled the destruction of Zadrak by the dead, and settled in the slums of Lakar, she remembers overhearing her parents talking to Esther about joining the Iron Hoods. And up until that point, Esther and Maraza had been raised to believe that Vladeska Drakov was literally a god, like she was someone to be worshipped. And, of course, they were raised with all the old adages of the Talons, if you see something or hear something, say something to the nearest Talon. And this 8-year-old child was horrified to hear that her parents were considering joining the Iron Hoods, and they were trying to pull Esther into it. So she heard something. She ran to the nearest Talon, thinking that maybe they won't get impaled because they haven't done anything, right? They haven't even joined yet. Maybe there would be some kind of punishment, but certainly not impalement, and that is absolutely not what happened. I think Maraza remembers that scream that the Shadow Spawn let out, and that kind of cry of "Don't leave me! I'm sorry! Please come back!" And she realizes that's why she hasn't been able to stop her sister, because she suppressed it, she's distracted herself, she feels an immense amount of guilt for the fact that ultimately she is what caused the Brant family to break apart. And Esther was able to escape. She joined the Iron Hoods. Maraza was conscripted into the Talons, and that's been her life for the last 2 decades. So I think she is very quiet, unusually so. Maybe not just because of the headache and the exhaustion, but she gets it. She understands, and she will start to pull out these items. I know you mentioned a journal with like a crimson thread. We'll cast detect magic on this. A little mote will kind of fly out of her eye, just to make sure there's no magic on any of this that she needs to be aware of. And yeah, she will silently do all this. I don't think she's even really looking at anyone else.
None of the journals register as magic.
Okay.
Sorry, Penelope. Continue.
I was just going to say that I think Penelope is going to grab the journal that has the ribbon on it.
It feels familiar to you, Penelope. Like a smell that reminds you of home. If you open it, it is the scrawlings of the Queen Fuhrer. A private diary, dated from many would-be years ago. In fact, as you look through these journals, these are materials recovered. The journals
intro stuff.
of
Yeah.
exactly. This is the journal of the lieutenant leading his men through the fog. This is the journal of the priest who's seen the abnormal. This is the journal of Dr. Jacob, whose experimentations with the Falcon Project. This is the journals recovered of Esther Grant. Which would lead us to believe the final journal that I will reveal to you guys in the next session will be Vladeska's.
Real quick, does anything register on that like sphere of desiccated flesh or the sprig?
With a detect magic, the sprig is divination magic.
Okay.
And the lump of flesh is necromantic.
Any inkling on like what they do potentially?
No. You said you cast detect magic and not identify, correct?
Correct. Yeah, just detect magic.
Okay.
Question: do any of these journals, apart from the one Penelope has, because I understand Miraz is not looking at that one, do any of them reference like that it is this pact that is causing this? Like besides Esther's, like I don't think Miraz is going to necessarily believe if it's Esther saying this, but does anyone else say this in the journal that Vladeska failing to honor this pact is what's causing this?
Without reading Vladeska's explicitly, you are inclined to believe that something happened after a successful campaign, because in the initial journal, they were returning from a campaign which they quashed a rebellion, supposedly the last rebellion, and that's when the fog moved in. The second one indicated that something weird was happening with the process. The third was Vladeska's attempt to fight the Horde with Falcon soldiers. And the last one is just speaking with Esther. I would say there are probably other journals here. Various field commanders kind of corroborating when the fog all rolled in at the the quelling of the last rebellion. But the big reveal would be in Vladeska's, you imagine.
Yeah, I think Miraz will relay that to everyone and what she's uncovered, and then she'll look to you, Penelope. What does it say?
And as you open the cover, that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Good stuff, y'all.
Very nice, everyone.
Wild.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got one more. You did it. You guys broke the camel's back. Look at what I've become.
Look at what I've become.
I feel your
a
pain.
Skill.
It's a skill.
Yeah, skill issue on my part.
Oh, that's not exactly the direction I was going with it, but
no, it works out because there was more than I anticipated for the last session. Because I was easily able to fill this whole session with stuff. And then I'll leave the last session to be all full moon. So, thank you all for participating in what was clearly indicated to me as me just sharing my trauma with y'all. I truly appreciate each and every one of your participation in these fever dreams of mine. So, thank you all. For those of you who are watching, I probably should say this in the beginning, but everyone who is here has any credentials that they would like listed in the bio below. But I think this concludes the expedition for the evening. Jeremy, if you want to take us home.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you again, Baron, for coming to me to have this put on the channel. I love having great gaming available for people to come here and watch. So, and the opportunity to take a back seat and be a player in a game on the channel is always an absolute pleasure, especially under your guidance and tutelage, man, and your torturous narrative. So thank you for being me. It's always a pleasure, man. So thank all of you very much for watching. Thank all of you very much for playing in this game as well. And until next time, may your dice roll high and your snacks always be within reach.